Hi there, welcome to another video from the Vickers MG Collection and Research Association. This is another of our manual previews. Manual's currently on the pile, awaiting to be scanned. It's been sat on the pile for a while actually, this one. It's something we secured quite a few months ago, if not a year or more. One of the reasons is because of the way that we scan. You know, this is a manual that we can't really split the spine on, so we're going to have to tackle this one in a slightly different way, possibly an overhead scanner or something to develop that, but we don't have one of those in the collection at the moment, so something that our patrons will support, thankfully, and perhaps you'd consider becoming a Patreon patron as well. www.patreon.com/VickersMG, and you'll be able to help scan these in, make them available, and get first access to them when they go online. This is a 1919 manual, and it's an American manual from the where are we? General Service Schools, the Army School of the Line, and the Army Staff School, 1919 to 1920. A course in machine guns. So obviously it does cover machine guns. But what you have is at this period of the war, the Americans, the United States Army, is no longer using the Vickers and have pretty much wholly gone over to the Browning. So the technical information here in this manual, in this book, sort of a compilation of lectures really, it applies to the Browning, which is really interesting and great. But what's the most valuable piece is it provides a reflection on lessons learnt from the Great War, which obviously does incorporate the Vickers, and the discussive nature of this particular book gives a review of the French, the British and the Germans about how they use machine guns in comparison with the United States Army as well. So yeah, some great passages here. Reasons for the adoption of the present organisation. So what is happening at the moment? And if I sort of draw back rightly, each machine gun is now in. Is supporting the division, but it doesn't necessarily have a machine gun corps. So what we have, those who argue for a machine gun corps point to the experience and conclusions of the British. The American machine gunner in the war has given far better support to his riflemen than has the British machine gunner. Better organisation has been one important reason. So, quite possibly true. I honestly don't have enough detailed knowledge to understand that at the moment. The Americans here are citing the numbers of guns per 1,000 infantry as the proportions. They have the highest, whereas Great Britain has the lowest. Which it's interesting to understand what they're classing as machine guns in this case. Do they include the Lewis? 72 within. Per 1,000 infantry, quite possibly they are. We'd have to get into the detail of it anyway. It's some numbers there that I don't recognise. So it's an interesting number. But then you've got reasons advanced for making the machine gun company an integral part of the infantry battalion. So the arguments for that, why battalions to compact unit, machine guns form an essential part of the unit. Reasons advanced for a machine gun corps. It's not an infantry weapon, an intermediate weapon between the infantry and field artillery. All really apt information considering when this is being published at 1919, and the machine gun corps would go on to be disbanded in 1922. So although an American discussion, a really interesting comparison with what's happening in the British Army at that point. And then we get the technical information, like what's being carried in each machine gun company and the carts, etc. The accessories, duties of personnel, etc., etc., and then specifics around how to the technical issues of indirect fire, range tables in here. Lots of information we see and recognise from other manuals. Too lots of text actually. It's quite a text-heavy manual. Rates of fire, which is great. Slow, medium, rapid, harassing. Those are actually very, very similar, if not taken directly from the British experience of the Great War. Because this is basically compiling everything that's been learnt. Characteristics of machine guns in the offensive. These are all different tables and range tables and stuff that are being dragged out here. So this is a really important manual to understand the views on machine gunnery at the end of the Great War, and who was using the machine gun cavalry there. Look, super super understanding. So we want to get this scanned in. As I said, please do support us on Patreon so we can buy the equipment to make sure we can do that safely and as quickly as possible. And then this one will be online alongside the rest of our other material. And what have we got in here? There's loads of fold-outs and all really crisp, which is why we're so wary of doing much with this. So that's a barrage map, jump-off lines, advance, and then we've got the barrage chart in here as well. So yeah, super manual. Back cover's a bit deteriorated, which is not typical of the rest of the manual, so we don't know what happened there. But there we go. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. Please support us on Patreon if you're able to, and let us know of anything you'd like to see in the future. I look forward to hearing from you.